this should be interesting. So, the past fucking few days on TikTok, I've been so fucking annoyed because it's been inundated with mostly white cis women complaining about the concept of having to call themselves cis, which is really funny because in day-to-day operations, day-to-day operations, like I'm still in the military. In day-to-day operations, nobody is busting into my fucking house with an AK telling me that I can't call myself a woman, but that I'm cisgender and a chest feeder, birthing person. Ain't nobody fucking doing that. Okay? It's not really that big a fucking deal to have to call yourself cis. And as part of the privileged party of being cisgender, I don't care about hurting the rest of y'all's fucking feelings. It's really not a big fucking deal to call yourself a cisgender woman. All it fucking means is that you agree with the gender that you were assigned at birth. A trans person does not identify with that gender that they were assigned at birth, thus transition, which that's what the trans comes from. Both are valid, both kinds are valid women, and we each have different fucking experiences, and that is literally all it means. It doesn't mean that you're now a lesser fucking person because you have to call yourself cisgender, which is really interesting because that proves that because in maybe the past we didn't really say cisgender a lot, but we did say trans women or whatever. That just proves that you saw trans women as lower than yourself this entire time, and for you to have to use a prefix for your womanhood or whatever the fuck, now you feel lesser because that's how you've seen trans women in the past. Telling on yourself is really the fuck not a big fucking deal. Now, we can talk about intersectionality, which is something that white women have had a hard time with their entire fucking existence. And oh my God, I've made at least 2 videos about this, trying to figure out the right way to say this shit. And they all just came out like very complicated think pieces. So I'm trying to put this in the most simple fucking way that I can. A way that's like more Nicki Marina than anything, okay? Like, y'all have historically, and it's not just white women, okay? It's not just white women that are saying this fucking shit, this TERF shit. There's a lot of black women doing that too, and there's a lot of transphobia and homophobia, queerphobia in our community. That's a whole fucking other video, I think. But intersectionality, white women leading the charge in this bullshit, like, y'all have always had a fucking problem with that. And that's just a fancy way of saying that you, white cisgender women, have always had a fucking problem with acknowledging that anyone can have a valid experience as a woman that is not fucking theirs. You've had it as far as race is concerned with non-white, especially black women. We ain't fucking forgot about the suffragette movement where your dear beloved Susan B. Anthony said with her entire fucking Caucasian chest that she did not give 2 shits about black women and our rights, that we weren't fucking included in the fight for women's rights. Nah, fuck us. Fuck us. So as a black woman, I know a little bit something about just as a black woman alone, know a little something about being excluded. And white women seem to be leading the charge on this cisgender shit. Like, we can talk about that. We can talk about how we have different experiences as women. We can talk about whether you identify as a woman or not. If you present as male to society, you're gonna get treated different. Okay? We can talk about how, like, if you were assigned female at birth and you agree with it, you're going to biologically go through different things. That is fucking fine. The whole point of the fucking prefix of cis is meant to differentiate between the 2 types of women that are likely to fucking go through that shit. That's all it fucking means. That's all it fucking means. Nobody is running up into your house with an AK telling you that you can't call yourself a fucking mother, except for a few chronically online cases, which are, again, usually white people. Nobody is, for the most part, nobody is asking you to do that. If they are, you probably need to fucking move because somebody is harassing you. It's just used to say that like there are more people than just women that can have babies. There's also people that identify as women that can't have babies. Are you saying that there are not really women or less of a woman because they can't have babies? God knows a lot of us have been told that and made to feel like that, especially by organized fucking religion. So if you've made that shit, those things like your entire personality, okay, well, maybe you've got some shit to work through, but it's really not that fucking big a deal. More inclusive language is not a big, like, it's such a fucking mild convenience that it's comical for you to act like it's some sort of persecution. Are you shitting me? The worst thing that, like, again, like I've said about privileged people before, usually the worst thing that can happen by you accommodating somebody that is less privileged than you is that you are mildly inconvenienced, maybe get your feelings hurt a little bit, but you are never going to have gender dysphoria. You are not going to know what it's like to not have gender forming care or not have access to it, not have the fucking money for it. You have the privilege of not having to go through that. Again, we can talk about intersectionality, which, to dumb it down once again, is that there are many things that influence how shitty we get treated in this life. Race, gender, like the gender that you are assigned, the gender that you identify as, the gender that you show to the world, being disabled rather than abled, like neurodivergent, neurotypical, white. We can all agree. We can all fucking agree that if you are white, a lot of things are so much easier for you. As in many cases, being white trumps everything. That's something I think that we can all agree on. But, bitch, you're really fucking corny. I'm sorry. Ain't no including, like, finally including a group of people that has existed for, like, fucking forever. And just like introducing language that affirms like, hey, you exist. You're valid. You're a cis as what, like not a cis as in like CIS, but like cis as in SIS, whatever. The fuck, like the fact that you like the fact that including other people triggers you, might want to fucking look into that. Again, intersectionality. White women, white cis women, you've always had a fucking problem with that. I think that you should probably look into yourself more than just, assign gender and whatnot, but race and all that shit, because like you've always had a fucking problem. And anyone that goes along with those, like that fucking behavior, just know that that's a problem that white women have had for fucking forever. You should probably consider whose lead you're following. I'm just saying. But guys, I guess I can't really speak for everybody because not everybody has the same world experience as me, but nobody has like literally actually devalued my devalued me, like identifying as a woman, identifying with the gender I was assigned, but like nobody's doing that. There are so many other things that you can complain about that relate to being a woman. There are so many other things that you can complain about, but this is what you choose. This is what you choose. You're not a fucking martyr. You're corny. Get the fuck out of my face.